the sheets right there if you'd like to reference it. Do you want me to start with my name or just... Can you give a straight face with these? All right. I'm Josh Newland. I'm an art teacher, and I do freelance graphic design. My parents told me I've been drawing since I was in a high chair. My first memory of, my first project I remember drawing was a book from my father, who's a history buff, that was a visual history of World War II, as best as I understood it at the time. Essentially, it was Americans as hamburgers, and then the Nazis were other fast food. I believe it was pizza, French fries, etc., all with swastikas on their foreheads. And then, so essentially, World War II was a giant food fight. That was my understanding of it at the time, and my knowledge of history hasn't improved much more since then. I got into teaching, I suppose. I wanted to practice my art, but at the same time, I didn't want to be isolated in a room for days on end, just painting or sculpting. So I wanted to be around people, and I felt like going into art teaching was a nice balance of both. Essentially, I'm around a lot of really creative people, and at the same time I get to practice my own work alongside them. I think students need art. I think people in general need art because no matter how practical your career is going to be, whether you go into business or you go to business, you go into politics, etc. I think the people that are really the innovators in any industry are always the ones with artistic backgrounds. They have creative problem-solving skills, and I think they bring something new, whether it be technologically or just industrially, to any field they enter. That's why I think it helps you essentially solve complex problems in a creative, more innovative way. I usually have a notebook of ideas that I just keep filling in, like writing down new concepts in and then crossing old ones out. And then whenever I have time, I sit down and I work on them. Outside of school, I actively design T-shirts and do character designs for some companies based out of LA, mostly special effects and small movie studios. I've storyboarded music videos as well. When I can avoid those things, I work on a few side projects for myself. One is a children's storybook that's relatively dark. It's like cautionary tales for kids in the style of like Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland. And I'm hoping to create like one summer, sit down and just make a massive tome that's like all illustrated and written by hand. Also working on a series of T-shirts through a brilliantly conceived clothing company called Sweatshop Outfitters, always very tasteful. And I aspire to potentially make a few video games that I think are really classy. I'm Josh Newland, and I inspired you.